Alrighty, this is my most favorite time to go live. Sometimes there's people, sometimes there's not. I don't really care because early in the morning, it's not as early. I usually like back in the day, I would on at like 7 a.m., 7:30, and it was the bomb. I I just showed my age with what I just said. Anywho's, so because I'm gonna try to move my spoon out the way. Um, but I like doing my lives so that it can be up and there when people are awake. I just love this time of day. I do. Like I know a lot of people are like, I'm not a morning person. I'm like, that's like when you don't collect, sometimes I get tired of the energies by the end of the day. So early in the morning is like I'm my freshest, I'm my best. I just love it. Anyways, so we're gonna pull some cards. It is a coffee and tarot, by the way, which means we don't hold the reins on the reading. Spirit does. Spirit wants to sit down, have a conversation, and they take charge. It goes in the direction they want to, in whatever direction, which could be a million. And we don't come in with any kind of so I try to smack look, look. I tried to smack a gnat away. And that's what happened. Did you enjoy your trip? Hmm? Okay. Welcome back. All right. So let me go ahead and give you my spiel. You are a sovereign being over your life. You get to determine if, how, when, where, why any of these messages might apply. My recommendation is to never Cinderella it to make it fit. I have my coffee. Grab your tea, your lemon water, your hot toddy, whatever it is that you want. Settle in, and let's see if there's a message. Ugh, are we serious? I'm not in the mood. I don't know why. I'm not in the hold on. For the moon magic oracle. Now I gotta go grab the freaking oh my gosh. It wasn't too far. I did have to get up and go grab the book. Is the moon magic on? It rained last night and it's kind of gloomy this morning. Pretty good. And that's a rarity. I mean, it could be worse. It's been gloomy, like worse. But something feels like really fresh. Again, I love coming on this early. Hello. The, the hands don't aid. Everything else does. Let me tell you. Everything else. Blah, blah, blah. All right, let's see what they got to say. Bet. Let's go. Don't look, dude. Things happen. God Almighty, and you wake up. That's what I get for talking to you, Joe. Quit talking to me. Oh my god, dude. That spirit, like, pay attention, bitch. Are you serious? Oh my god, they went everywhere. It's everywhere. It's like John Mayer, gravity. Okay, we're gonna start over on that one because what the fuck? Hope you've been doing good despite how the world is right now. Because gosh. Let's start with this because something feels erratic all of a sudden. I'm like, what? What? All right, let's get to going. I don't even know offhand what that. Okay. Well, here we go. Esbats are ceremony rituals honoring the moon. Ooh. Ooh, did someone woo out here do something with the full moon? Okay, or the new moon? We just had the new moon, didn't we? Didn't we? I think we did. Um, okay, so this card really just talks about deep commitment to your spirituality, whatever that might be for you, and that you've experienced a profound awakening. Oh, it's asking you to show reverence for whatever path you've actually chosen with regular spiritual practice. Commune with the divine in any way that you like, but take time to connect with spirit on a regular basis. This will help keep you feeling grounded and connected to the sacred. It doesn't have to be extravagant, it doesn't have to be long winded, but something as simple as lighting incense, dedicating something to your chosen deity, anything, but it needs to be regular, consistent um, dedication to a practice. Find a way to integrate it into your day to day life. Magic is a practice that should be lived each day with knowledge and reverence. Um, why are we bringing that up? If you feel like you've had inconsistent connection with your intuition in and out, that might be part of the problem. Um, some people with religious trauma may get bulk at the notion of having to dedicate time, consistency, um, to whatever path you've chosen, because it may feel as if like like it's being demanded of you, but it's not for the deity. It is not for. I mean, I don't know who you work with. It's for yourself. Again, if you feel like your connection is that of a radio where the signal goes in and out, I'm just getting the sense that somebody feels disconnected or has experienced a lot of moments of disconnection, and this is just a do this and this may help kind of thing. It's really for you. It's not something being demanded of you. It's something that can help you. Does that make sense? Dreamweaver and glimmering. Okay, let's put this bad boy up because. And I didn't want to pull the deck out at first. I was like, and it's almost like there's just something about it that somebody might have be coming out of burnout or have some kind of like because there's other things. I feel like somebody does not like the idea of something demanding their time. Like if I want to do it, I will. Somebody is in a position of like, and this could be from not from religious trauma, but like freaking work, life itself right now, family, all kinds of shit. You're just like, if one more thing tugs on my energy, and okay, so they're also bringing me to kind of like when certain things feel like a chore rather than a desire. You catch my drift? It's like that. Like this feels like a chore, just another thing for me to do. Blah 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 blah. And I think that's why the point is it doesn't have to be extravagant. It does. It's just to reconnect yourself. It's for you. It's for you. It's self care. But it's something about it feeling like but if I have to do it, there's something about having to do it, being demanded to do it. Like I only want to when I feel drawn to it, or, but I would suggest that maybe that draw goes in and out, that desire, that passion for it goes in and out. because of the inconsistency, because of the lack of reverence for it. We shall see. Oh, baby, baby, we shall see. So goal setting at ugh. That's the same. I feel like the same energy, like, "Oh, set a goal and take some," like, don't regiment my life. Don't regiment my life. I don't wanna do it. Oh, this is like, again, like, I just feel like you've either experienced some kind of burnout, or you have been in you've experienced a stage in your life where you were like the people pleaser, like always answering to everything and everyone else, and like your time being consumed and dictated by things. Because that just felt bleh. Um, yeah, it's saying Dreamweavers reminding you that you have to determine your own path, because to a large extent your destiny is in your hands. Yeah, this is the card that's the antithesis of drifting through life. But why do I feel like somebody wants to? I want to just, like, move fluidly through life and allow things to come and go, and like somebody doesn't want to have to work for something. If it feels like work, if it feels like like consistent dedication, or something that is demanding of the time, like I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it. That's what it feels like. Because I'm just like, ew, with this. Um, Expecting everything to just come to you. Oh God, growing increasingly resentful towards those who go out and make things happen for themselves. That doesn't sound right. If you want to give your time, energy, and investment consistently always to something else, by all means. I don't feel like somebody is actually resentful towards people who do that. It feels more like pity, like the amount of like, yes, you have X, Y, and Z, but at what cost? Like, that's the assessment that I'm feeling. But it is also talking about, like, don't be one of those people who consistently complain that they can't catch a break or get a foot in the door when you're sitting back and waiting for someone else to open up a few doors for you. Why does this feel like this is feeling like I don't like this card. It's feeling like pull yourself up by your bootstraps kind of energy. This feels boomerish. Well, if you worked hard enough, you'd have it. That's bullshit. That is a lie. That's just flat out a lie. You know how many people work so fucking hard and have not a damn thing to show for it in their lives? Not a fucking thing of worthwhile except for burnout and exhaustion. I'm on the side of whoever I'm reading for. I'm on the side. Does this say determine what you want, take the determined steps to having it, set your goals, work towards achieving? That just sounds like a prison. That just sounds like a prison. Like, I feel like, why do I feel like Spirit's putting this out just to, like, Spirit wants someone to get triggered. Create and live a life you truly love. Well, what if they have, wherein you feel blessed every single day? Well, no one feels blessed by working their life away. I don't like this card. I I've read it before, and I've never had such a visceral reaction to this shit. Or you're doing a sucky job, Joe. Pick it up, buddy. Seriously. You can do a better job than that. Um, I just the world can be divided into those. Why do I feel like this is so reminiscent of the shit we're seeing on the global scale, on like the macro level, like various different countries playing out in the governments? And it's like, if you just did this you could have this. No, no, you can't actually. That is not, in fact, reality. Reality is reflecting that only few can work toward their dreams and actually achieve them and be have a life that they want to live. They're trying to create a dynamic where you are a sacrificial lamb for other people's dreams. So this is not I don't know. What was SBAT again? Why am I like hyped the fuck up? Let me just tell you. Ugh. Could you imagine feeling this way and then having like some kind of spiritual awakening? Um, we'll find out how they're connected. We'll find out in a minute. Because what the fuck? Unique gifts and loving. It's a card of hope, anticipation, and joyfulness. It indicates that auditions, interviews, presentations, promotions, or graduations are on the cards. An opportunity for you to show what you are made of and to demonstrate what you can do. This is referencing somebody who has like a unique set of skills, talents, abilities to spread more light in the world. If you're trying to escape this idea that I have to have a goal that requires sacrifice, that makes me feel like a sacrificial lamb, that requires incessant work where the goalpost keeps moving to achieve a particular dream, and if you're having to work in that kind of a manner, that's not the life you want to live. It's not something to be proud of. That uh, moving in an opposite direction of that is correlated with your connection to your inner divinity, but your intuition with spirit. I think that's why they're asking you to connect more, to make it a daily practice, um, because there is a way to subvert that. At least the way that it feels coming across with the Dreamweaver, right? There is a way to share your light, your skills with the world. There is a way without it feeling as if you're sacrificing yourself to do so. Okay. There is a way. Let's talk about it then. What's the way, spirit? What is the Ugh, that just felt like gross. I literally touched that and it was like, ew, no. Storm and Tarot. Oh, Jesus. I'm too old for that. Oh, so I'm supposed to chase? I'm supposed to hunt? I'm supposed to be the huntress? Is that what it like? Mm, just doesn't feel right. Four swords. Okie dokie. See, this is what somebody wants. Like, I'm done. I'm burnt out. I'm tapped out. My brain is just, But this is also about connecting. Like Espat is asking you to. Son of a biscuit. Oh, Lord. Okay. You only want to focus on anything that fills your cup up. But if it goes into the realm of the way that I have to approach something, I'm consistently spilling my cup out. Gosh, it just doesn't. This is peace, love, harmony. I want to enjoy my life. I want to feel at peace in my soul. And somebody feels like it is requiring them to do something that takes them out of it. Yeah. Yeah. Nine of Swords. I don't even know if there is a dream or a desire big enough to want to be like this. Nine of Swords, because you feel like you're, yeah, with the Emperor. Somebody does not feel drawn to the lifestyle and the requirements of being an emperor. Unimpressed, not drawn to that. They don't feel as if that's how they want to live their life. They feel like they miss out then. It creates too much anxiety. It creates a battle and a war within. That's not what they want. It seems like there is a way to have your desire without this. This could also be somebody who has been doing this and is ready to give it up. Is tired of the emperor role, what it requires to run an entire fucking empire on their own for what? And at the expense of what? At the expense of peace of mind, joy, happiness, love? Like, no, no. Maybe you'd have more time to commune with nature and with spirit if you weren't constantly having a goal and the goalpost kept moving and you kept working towards it. Another thing to fucking achieve, to work at. To what end is the question? To what end? You have a talent, you have an ability where it seems as though you don't have to experience it like that. But I don't think that you're convinced that that's true. It seems in this world, no matter what you do, whether you love it or not, it's always at the expense of yourself in order for it to be anything of success. Three of Pentacles in reverse, like I don't know if I want to build. Somebody feels like they're always building. When do you get there? When do you get there? High Priestess and Tower. When do you get there? Something about the Three of Pentacles when you are in the midst of a creation and the amount of time that it takes to get there. Again, there's also something about goalposts being moved. Are you even satisfied when you reach your creation? This feels like a lack of effort, um, because of a lack of belief that the work is worth it. And that's if you're basing again, that's the reason why I feel like this feels like a very boomerish kind of like old old world take. That if you just work towards it, you can have everything that you and it's not true. It's not true. It's like an old idea of what success and loving your life is. Like when you have a list of accomplishments that you can rattle off, uh, somehow that's supposed to satiate the human experience. It doesn't. Rarely is it ever to your benefit. It's just somebody who that's changed for them. That is not what gives them a sense of pride in their life. All for what is what I'm hearing. Trying to figure out about this high priestess. If something feels like somebody feels guided to do something. I want to, as a reader, say that the lack of work, commitment, and willingness to build towards something is going to create the tower moment. But energetically, I don't feel like those two things are related at all. Yeah. It may have something to do with the 10 of wands, it's the I've been having to do this alone. And again, it has a very like I'm talking to somebody that's experienced burnout, whether you call it that or not, the weight of the world. When you've carried it for so long, you're ready to put that shit down. This emperor may have been going it alone for really or feeling alone. They may not have gone it alone, but felt like everything was on them. This is either somebody who is unimpressed with the life of an emperor and doesn't want to become one, or again, someone who's unimpressed with the life of an emperor and no longer wants to be one. Like I don't strive to build this empire and conquer this and be in control of this and have this status and this that and like it's not a part of what they want. I think somebody's questioning what are they building. Somebody's perception or desire has shifted on what it is that they want. And I think that they question now to what end? Like, yes, I could do this. I had somebody ask me about getting their doctorate, and I was like, going for their PhD, and I'm thinking that was exactly the question. Was like, to what end? Like, for what reason? Well, I'm like, because you can do research without having your PhD, because you can teach at a collegiate level without having your PhD, because you can do this, this, and this without having you don't. For what purpose? To say that you have it, so that you can go further in debt. Like, if you just want to go for the sake of like really delving into again, just because you can, because you like academia, okay. Um, but for what reason would you want your you know what I mean? Prestige? Like, you can do everything and achieve everything without having to go that route. So the question is, What do you desire now? And I think there's a desire, but there's also like a state of existence is the desire rather than a goal, a particular state of existence. But most importantly, how one gets to that. Someone is done. This is an oppressive, very oppressive energy. What I don't want to do is take any route or path that feels oppressive. What's more fun? Joe, hijacking shit. Why you deleting your messages? You don't want to leave it on there for the rest of the world to see? Hmm? I'm trying to read what you say. Look, these old eyes. Uh, a man that lets you take control, or do you prefer to be led? It is few and far between. So few to ever be in a position where I actually trust or like I think there's a difference between listening and hearing somebody. Like like to have somebody where you can actually feel like they're so well rounded in their intellect and their intelligence, like emotional intelligence, everything, to ever let them lead. It's kind of like that idea of like you'll hear people say a godly man. I'm like, show me one because I've never seen one. So it's really not a lot of men that I allow to have any kind of influence in my life, meaning that I actually open up to what they have to say, where I actually take on anything that they say, where I am truly listening. And if I can't do that with somebody, they can't lead. Good luck. Good luck. But I'm also done with taking control. I don't want to, I'm not a person that wants to be, I'm tired of the taking on the emotional, mental weight of other people. So, hence why I spend long periods single, single as a. Hold on. Ugh, why so much? Mm-hmm. Mm. I think that's the reason why the SBAT came out. There's been a spiritual awakening in someone. There's been a spiritual awakening. Someone's idea of goals and dreams has shifted, and that is, they've put some level of a weight down. I feel like in doing so, certain things have come to light. I think emotions have arisen. I think that it's like your connection with your intuition, with the divine, with spirit, however the fuck you wanna has increased, but you still bulk at the idea of integrating something because it feels like it's a demand. Because it feels as if it's like something else demanding your attention, demanding your time, and you wanna be in full control of that. And again, when it is suggested, it is for your benefit, not a demand. You're the 5 of Wands with the moon. I think somebody still has certain desires that reflect maybe their old paradigm, you know? Um, it's like in direct contrast with their new paradigm, and they haven't fully integrated or evolved into their new paradigm because they haven't figured out exactly what to do to achieve some of the things that the experience that they want to have. They want the experience. They want the lived experience of something, not a particular goal. But I think their methodology still reflects the old paradigm of having to set goals and having to work towards this and having to da da. Again, there's a difference between work and just taking action, right? And I think anybody who's ever had like inspired action understands the difference, right? Like, how do I do X, Y, and Z? How do I achieve when all I've ever known is self-sacrificial methods? And all the methods that I've ever known have required a sacrifice I'm no longer willing to make. Um, they don't know. Somebody doesn't know how to move differently. So there's like a battle within. Somehow that needs to come to an end, though. A regular practice woven into your day to day life will help you to ground in this new approach, this new paradigm of how you're moving in life, where it's not a particular goal per se, but it's a way of living that you want to achieve, an experience that you want to achieve, a feeling, a state of being rather than material goals. All right, we got to pull a different deck. Hello, Ruby. Well, Hermit. When you exist in a world that still operates from the other paradigm, it can be very isolating. When you don't know how to achieve. See, because when your paradigm changes and others don't, you still exist within a world that operates from the opposite, right? And so you don't know how to maneuver within that. And so when you refuse to participate in that same capacity and fashion, that's where things become overwhelming, burdensome, oppressive, and isolating. Yeah, devil. Because the systems that are at play, the institutions, the systems, the cultural norms and traditions are ones that work to keep you beholden to them, right? And the devil card does speak of not knowing how to break free from that cycle, that pattern. And this doesn't necessarily mean that you're just somebody that wants to like, if I just wish it hard enough, it'll just come to, kind of thing. It doesn't mean that. But again, the avenues and paths available to you feel constricted. Seven of Swords. The world wants you to believe that it's like deceiving yourself. You need to follow Easier said than done. Follow your inner truth with the hermit. There's a okay, story of the Seven of Swords. We're gonna go there. The idea that you're walking into the enemy's camp or an army's camp, y'all may have the exact same enemy, right? You don't want to participate with the army. You don't want to be a part of that, but you know that whatever you are facing in the world, um, common enemy, I would say. So you go into the enemy's camp, or whether it's an enemy or an army, and you're like, I got to make sure I'm good also. And so you take from that army, the same army you don't want to participate in, right? For your because this is after the Six of Swords when there's been a transition. So after this awakening, you're like, I still have to interact and participate and be aware of that army is still going to be an impact to you. If something were to break out, there's this idea that self-preservation and looking out for oneself requires, even the Amish do this, requires some interaction with and kind of like dappling in the old paradigm. I think that's the reason why you haven't been able to completely close that out and fully integrate this new way of operating that you're kind of like, I don't care about achieving this and having accolades and having a checklist of things to show off that it does nothing for my sense of self or my experience in this world, like but also the devil's kind of like, aren't they trying to something is trying to convince you that to some degree, in some form or fashion, you will always have to work within the systems that oppress you in order for you to be able to survive. That's what it's saying. Thank you for struggling like a motherfucker. Justice. Back to glimmering, there is a skill set that I feel like breaks you free from that. Again, with the devil, you are not actually beholden to that. It's still foreign to you, though. You don't know exactly how you can do that. It's not that there aren't lived examples of people existing outside of the system, outside of the institutions and the structures, and thriving and doing well, where they don't have to buy into the bullshit of you're only worth something or a goal is only worth something if it's self-sacrificial. Um, this is your key to having that justice. Let's talk a little more about that. And you know better how to kind of like follow that path if you had more consistent practice with your own spirituality. The radio signal wouldn't be going in and out so much. Again, if you feel as if it's like you're connected, you're not connected, you're connected, you play a factor in that. Again, you're fighting against that consistency because it feels like it's demanding of you, and you're like, I'm sick of shit demanding anything of me. You feel as if it then is dictating your time and how you spend it. And again, this is that there's still some resentment to the old paradigm, to the systems that are still existing that keep trying to reel you back in. And so you're not distinguishing proper self-care and habit for yourself that's beneficial to you Again, spirit is not demanding anything of you. It's a suggestion. They're recommending it for your own benefit. Having more consistency with that is going to show you. And that's the real justice, is when you're able to use whatever skills, talents that you have to live the life that you want outside of the parameters of society and cultural norms, right? Outside of the institutions that constantly want to reel you back in. That would be real justice, to achieve that and be like, oh, I probably shouldn't do that one, but you know what I mean. What are you talking about, Joe? What about the same question in that? Huh? Dude. 9 of Cups. So you can. Well, then let's fucking talk about that. Like, how? Right now, Spirit, you're you feel like ain't no fucking way getting consistent with my new spiritual path and my and integrating it intricately into my life, where it's like just a part of day to day, is going to be the thing that opens this avenue up that I'm able to then see, to achieve that justice, to get what it is that I want. See, when spirit hinges that, when spirit's like, if you could just do this, then this would happen, it almost makes it a requirement. And when I say somebody here is obstinate as fuck because they're like, don't you demand nothing of me. It feels like a demand. And someone here just doesn't like that it's a requirement. Don't tell me how to live my life. Like, someone is so Queen of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. So you do have really strong intuition. Somebody's like, but if I desired it, I would do it. So this reminds me of people with ADHD, pathological demand avoidance, where like, if you tell me to do it, I won't do it. Problem is that you're also not doing it when they don't tell you to do it. But you like lock down big time when you feel like it's being, again, it's a requirement. Don't tell me what to do. You want to be inspired to something, not feeling forced. Queen of Pentacles is able to manage and do it all. Very capable. And that might be the Five of Wands energy, where you're like, you might be arguing with yourself, like, just do it then. If this will help, then just do it. But there's like inner teenager that's like fighting for its life over here. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Out. Children woke up. Could hear it because they were both clambering down the stairs, arguing. Boy, I tell you. Tell me more about the... Okay, that was fast. Page of Cups. I think like, you're like, you feel it. You feel the guidance. You know to do this. You know to integrate more. You know to have a bit more of a reverence to the path that you've chosen, spiritually speaking. I think that you know that this is going to be beneficial for you. You were fighting it, though, and you didn't even know why you're fighting it. Like, why can't I just do it? You know that you're capable, but you're just not. You want to feel inspired to it, but something about it being feels like it's a requirement now, and that's too reminiscent of the old paradigm, and I don't like that. And then your rational mind, the one that's like, you gotta work hard and you gotta do this and you gotta da da da, kind of shit where it's like, every day it's like pull yourself up by the bootstraps bullshit. And you're like, ain't no way getting more consistent with my spiritual practice, integrating it into my life and having more reverence for the path that I've chosen by doing such is going to be the thing because it seems too minuscule, but like the Page of Cups, something very seemingly small, innocuous, and little will develop into something more. Because with the Page of Cups, the fish pops out. There's more than meets the eye with this. You're so used to that self sacrificial way of approaching things and having to work and have goals and then I got to do this and nothing's just going to come to you. And so when spirit suggests something so seemingly minuscule, you're like, ain't no fucking way that's going to be like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. You got a lot going on. No wonder you get a 5 of Wands. You're like, I know I can do this. Yes, I should be doing this. I do want this. But then you told me and now I don't want to do this. And then the old paradigm that's still kind of like like stuck to you is like, ain't no way that's the answer. You can't tell like that's really the and it's like and it you can't see how something so easy to do can produce so much good and change in your life. Wow, 2 of Swords with the Queen of Cups. I mean, Queen of Wands. God Almighty. We already had the Queen of Cups out. Um, it's just you stand on the precipice of doing it and you don't. You stand on the precipice of you know, you know. There really isn't anything in your life stopping you from integrating your new. If you were just to choose this, I don't think you understand how much you could pull towards you, how much more in alignment with things you would be. That concept feels, look, you're not like some kind of deity that's going to be like, I can give whatever the hell I want when you do this. Two of Swords in this deck is called Peace Restored. If you would just choose to do this, it's like you're putting this, the idea of integrating your new chosen spiritual path and what that entails and the practices and things like that, um, in order to really integrate it into your life. You're putting that up against when you have 2 swords, it's like 2 truths, right? And then they go, it's kind of like they have the blindfold and you're kind of going within. It's like, what's true, but you're putting it up against 2 very old truths that you've had based upon an old paradigm of I've got to have goals and then I have to do this and I have to do that. And it's like, I got to pull myself up by the bootstraps. And if I worked hard enough, it would already be here, kind of thing. Like you keep putting it up against tangible things that you dislike that you don't ever want to do, but you're still holding on to like, well, that much to you, you have enough evidence that that's the only real way to exist. You don't have evidence for this. I just think that integrating your practice helps you to subvert this old paradigm because that's the real justice, right? That's what you get. Like that's the desire you have is to, despite everybody still trying to say that this is the way you have to operate in order to get things, finding another way so that you don't ever have to participate in that again. half the battle is choosing your path. You've chosen it. Now you just need to walk it. You just need to integrate it. And if you just choose, because again, destiny can show up. You are not a chosen one. We don't perpetuate that shit on this channel. Most people who think they're chosen end up ruining this fucking world. Okay? Okay. You have to choose your destiny. Spirit can literally lay it on your lap, but you still have to choose it. You have to make the decision. Two of Swords. And in doing such, that squarely puts you in your power to make things happen easily. That damn Five of Wands again. That battle going on. Feels like it's a struggle. Page of Swords. Something about you have more evidence of struggle in your life. Again, going back to the Ten of Wands, that sense of oppression because of your experience. That's your frame of reference. Because the Page of Swords is giving me that, like, the evidence that you've gathered, the information that you've gathered. So it's hard to believe that this integrating your new chosen spiritual path into your life intricately and showing reverence for it in the way that you maneuver within your life, like, it's not that hard. You're like, there's no way that is the key to opening the door. Because all you have is struggle, evidence of struggle. And I think that's the point. Spirit's like, exactly. All you have is any other way, anything you put this particular thing that they're guiding you to do, right? When you put it up against anything else, any other quote unquote institutionalized, cultural, traditional way of doing something, all you have is evidence of struggle. Let that be the evidence against going that direction and trying another way. You wanted to know how to get out of the Five of Swords and get into the Four of Swords where peace is restored. Spirit is telling you. Whether you choose to do that or not, again, you're going to have to address that inner teenager that wants to fight against this because you asked for the guidance, you asked for the answer, Spirit gave it to you, and now you're like, you can't demand that of me. There's something in you that feels like something is telling you what to do, how to spend your time, how da. And it's like, no, I'm simply giving you the information. You do with that as you wish. You either choose or you don't. You're the one that said, this is the path that I want to go, that I don't want to live by these other standards and these ideas of success. I don't want to be the emperor. Being the emperor and having an empire and constantly having to conquer and constantly having to take and this, that. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that. I want to live. I want to have a beautifully lived experience as a human being. I want to live. I don't want to be an emperor. There's nothing appealing to that. And so they're giving it to you what you wanted. And they're telling you you have talents where you could subvert all of that. And that you could be tapped in more consistently if you made it a practice. And you're over here going, don't tell me what to do. Because it feels too reminiscent. When someone is saying, this is what you do with your time, they're simply answering your question. So there may be some work that still needs to be done to let go of the old paradigm because it is preventing you from fully stepping into your chosen path because you're stuck in liminal space right now. All righty. Well, you're so full, hooey. Can I just say that much? Alrighty. Well, that is the message. I hope it finds whoever it's meant for. I hope everybody has a fantastic and wonderful day. And I will see you guys at the next read.